Hi, this is Jilly Bling, and I have a project using Marigold Moments Bundle. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? So it's a stair-step fold, and I saw the layout online by Glenda Calvin. Glenda, thank you for sharing. I love it. And coming up with colors to make the marigolds, I looked up online, and I had help from Diane on figuring out colors. And I tried all kinds of different combinations, and I wanted something that would play well with the pool party paper. So I came up with these, which is coral and daffodil. So I'll show you the different little samples because you might really like red marigolds. And I guess they're mostly in yellow, red, and orange, and different combinations, beautiful combinations. And it's a animal resistant flower. So if you put them in your garden, I guess the deer, they could smell them from who knows how far away, and they're like, not for me. So, good thought. And they just said different animals in general. I don't know what other kind of animal will come and eat your flowers, but they don't. A lot of them do not like farmers. They plant them because animals do not like marigolds. So, there you have it. They are quite pretty. So, the set, and it's two-step stamping, which we'll do today, has a beautiful Mother's Day greeting and thanks. I love the font on these words. But I know a lot of people in class, when I do Mother's Day, they're like, and they turn it into a birthday. So obviously that will be an option, but happy birthday. We're always all needing happy birthday. And this is a wonderful bundle too. It's abstract and it challenges me, but every time I use it, I absolutely love it. And then also celebrate sunflowers, using that mostly for the Let's Celebrate You, and Thanks a Bunch is perfect for this little bunch of flowers. But this right here, know that you are loved, I love that. I mean, I friend love all kinds of girlfriends, and obviously I love my family, but that could be used in so many ways, and it's just nice font. And isn't it good to know that you're loved? I think it is. Congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. Maybe that's for birthday, like each passing day. Oh, speaking of birthday, my birthday. Today's a good day. So I'll also use the marigold dies. Okay, let's get started. So, you know how I have a dog, and he is out barking at the neighbors right now, and I keep waiting for him to come in, but he keeps barking. So he'll probably be over here pawing at the door, knocking, saying, hey, let me in. So I might be interrupted here in a minute. Okay, here we go. Hey, you know, I haven't used this. Someone was asking, why don't you ever use that, the label punch? Today's the day. And I have 3 of these. I have this one. I think 2 of them are current. And can you tell that they've never been used? Banners punch. This one is current. We could use, oh, that's the one I used on here. You could choose what kind of label. Do you want it poking out, or do you want it in like an arrow? There's that one. And there's also this one from the past. Treasured labels. Oh, I see a dog walking by. I'll use some pearls. I'll probably have to let him in. I'll wait for him to knock. He might change his mind. This is for the words. This one has happy birthday, but I want to do one from the sunflower set. Let's just start with that. Thanks a bunch. Oop, he's knocking. Hold on. You want to come in? Smile. Smile. Okay, he's in. The colors we'll be using: Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, and Evening Evergreen. So, Evening Evergreen will be perfect for the words. I'm going to test it first. Because see, that's a little bit faint. If ever you need to do re-inking, and some people are like, here, you do it, I'm scared. It ain't no thing. So just squeeze, do zigzags, maybe a few more. And it usually gets dried out in the center first. Then use the rounded tip to just kind of push it into lower layers of the firm foam pad. Okay, that should do it. Evening Evergreen. I love that color. I hope it stays. Okay, let's test it now. Oh, that's a lot better. This one, that one's a lot better. But I noticed that there's some light spots and dark spots, and I could take the tip and push it around a little more, but I think with time it will. You know what, I can't see. White on white is hard. I think with time, as in stamping a few more times, it will work its way to smooth stamping. Ooh, look at that. Thanks a bunch. Perfect for a bunch of marigolds. That looks good. Okay, so let's do the punch. The punch, two different edges. I think I'll use this one. This one is a little bit more rounded. If I had more rounded images like circles on my card, I would probably use that. But this one, because this card is pretty square and rectangular, I'm going to do that one. So on the bottom, I have a little note, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch. That is because this punch has tracks for all those different sizes of paper. So I'm going to put this one in, put it right here. And I think mine is like a ooh, there it goes, it's setting down into there. Then I'm going to flip it over, make sure that it's pushed all the way against the back. I set it down in those tracks. Let go. Or if your paper doesn't set down in the tracks, which happen often if you don't cut it perfect. So I'm looking at, does this side equal that side equal this side? If it's yes, just go for it. And take note of how much is right there. That's like 1/8 of an inch that's going to be cut off the end. And I say that because when you take this out, it's time to trim this end. And you're like, well, where do I trim it? If you think that this side has maybe 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to say 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to add on 1/8 of an inch. And that should punch it pretty well. Like so it's equal. Just turn it over. And I'm having it right against the back of the punch. Then I'm making sure that there's like the flat top and then 2 bumps. Where the paper lies, it's right in between the first bump and the second bump, and then the same over here. Just so it's somewhat similar, it doesn't have to be perfect. That will do just fine. We have our words done. Okay, so save that for later. These are garbage. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I think we need to do the scoring because the scoring tool is kind of in my way. Oh, detour. Okay, so these are color combos. And when I was doing the color combos, I thought, what looks good with these papers? The Pool Party and the designer paper with the succulent and gold. So this one is pumpkin and poppy. It's like, oh, that one is kind of elegant, really rich. This one is papaya and coral. I think that's too pale. Curry and pumpkin. That one looks pretty good. Daffodil and pumpkin, or daffodil and papaya. I think that one's too pale. And then daffodil and coral, I think, is right on cue, which is what this one is. So it's kind of fun just to play. That one does look good though. just to see what works, because they are really different, each one of them. Okay, let's get to scoring the paper. And I'll put all the paper cut sizes and score measurements on my blog. And my blog is jillybling.com. So, scoring. The base is cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 1, 2, and 6 1/2. So we're going to need our little extender arm. Okay, 1, 2, 6 1/2. Make sure you can see up here. So right up here, I'm looking for 1. Make sure to use your scoring blade, not your cutting blade. 1, 2, and 6 1/2. Okay, that one is done. So that is for this base paper right here. So now let's score this top piece, which is cut to 2 1/2 by 8 1/2, and it's scored at 5 1/2. 5 1/2. Okay, we're done. Done with scoring. Okay, so let's see how these look, and I'm sure all of a sudden it will become clear what needs to happen. Sometimes you just have to jump in and do it. That is the back, and then there's this little back and forth bit. Okay, so here's this one, and then there is this one. And this piece gets put right into the center in just a minute. We're going to decorate this part first. Okay, so we have pieces. This is going to be inside. This little bit I had, and look how perfectly it fits right here. You're like, okay. I've seen other people do that, but I've never put little bits of designer paper, but I really like it. So look how perfectly that fits down there. This piece is going to be for right here. And then this piece we'll put on now goes right here. And it doesn't fit, well, it's 4 by 4, and there's a little bit of a gap, but you don't see that at all because of the little stand. Like if you really open it, but who does that to a card? There's no need to do that. It works just fine. So let's put this one on. That's the first step. Oh, and this is the Chic, the Seasons of Chic specialty paper. My gosh, I use this paper a lot. At first when I saw it, I thought, yeah, that's pretty. I had no idea I'd use it so much. Those little, like the petal pink with the gold dots. Oh, I love that pattern. Okay, so that is done. These are inside bits. That goes on the front. So now it's time to put this on. And I'm going to put glue in the middle of this panel at the top. And I don't know how far the panel goes over, so I'm being a little cautious. Then on this one, I'll put glue at the bottom. And once again, I don't know how tall this bar panel right here will go, so I'm being a little bit cautious. And put it right here in the middle. When I put in the middle, it's down flush against the bottom, and I'm looking at how much is here, how much is here. Needs a scooch just a little bit. And if you don't have it just right, that's okay, because you know it wasn't moving. I think that this is just a little smaller than this, but looking at the card, and once I get the flower on, it'll be fine. Okay, so now it's time to put, let me get these inside pieces out. Now it's time to put this back panel onto here, and to do that, just think the card has to go through the mail, so it's flat. I'm going to put adhesive right here, not the whole way up, just at the bottom, just enough to hang on. And then close the door. And again, thinking it has to go through the mail. So see how flat it is? Okay, that's it. Look at that. We have the card base ready to go. Woot, woot. With the little stand. Oh, tickle. Hold on. Hopefully that's better. I don't know why I have a tickle. That goes on. It's like ever since I was in the shower, my tonsils tickle. Not so much a cold, but just tickle. Okay, that piece is on. We'll do insides in a minute. Ooh, we could put this one on. Maybe a little bit higher than planned, just because it's as wide as this paper. Oh, okay, that strip, that works. Whew. So I'll put that on with dimensionals, but I'm just going to put them at the edges because I still have to put that textured piece of white cardstock right here in the middle, and that just might, that has to slide right on top of here. Thanks a bunch. So this one is a little bit different. Okay, let's make some flowers. Oh, so this piece here, excuse me, it goes right on here, but I'm going to use the fern embossing folder to texture it. And that can go on, because there's no stamping on that. And because it's textured, I like to use liquid glue. Seems like every day I'm using liquid glue more and more. Before I never used it, but I'm liking it. Okay, the card is already coming around, huh? Starting to see it happen. Okay, on to the flowers. I think that and the inside is all that's left to do. So to do the flowers, the stamp, two-step stamping. So there's the detailed and the bold, and then again for the little single flower, detailed and bold, and stems, and then this stem right here perfectly holds the flower on the inside. Isn't that fun? But this flower right here, I'm also going to put right up here, just to kind of extend the bouquet a little bit taller. And I had to do a few tricks with that, but I'll show you. So let's do the flowers. Here's the bold and the detailed, and I have a little note on the bold stamp, stamp detail first. I just find it works a little bit better for me. Okay, so detailed is Calypso Coral, but you could do any combination. And you know, because I like cooler tones, I kept on trying to think, oh, could this be like a carnation? Maybe. And then you could do it in all kinds of colors. When you're stamping with polymer, I should have the pad underneath, but chances are your paper will stick to your polymer stamp. If so, like rub the tummy of the stamp just to make sure you get the coverage of the stamp in the center of a large stamp. Perfect! I'm going to do one of these. I may need to re-ink this pad too. Okay, looking good. Now I'm going to do Daffodil Delight. And that will go right over the top. So daffodil, right over the top. And then again, I forgot the pad, so rub the tummy. Oh, isn't that pretty? Look what a difference it makes. Because this one looks like a bluer, poppy, orange red. Then after you put the Daffodil Delight on, it changes the color. Just slightly, but I think it's just because the daffodil is back behind it. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, same thing here. Ooh. Just Bo, come on, come on. Oh boy, who needs coffee? Okay, so we got those, and the little indents in the bold stamp I did in daffodil, I lined them up down there, and I lined them up really good this time. On the other ones, I didn't line them up so good. But it's fine. It works out just fine. It's easy. So let's do the leaves in evergreen. Evening evergreen leaves. Here's the leaves for this one right here. And if you want it to be a little bit paler of a leaf, you can stamp off or stamp it right now, because I just stamped it. That's how I got this lighter color. So if you wanted to do that, full strength, stamp off, just like that. Then it looks just like succulent. Imagine that. And the big one for the bouquet. Pretty. And 3 of these little bitty bits. Okay. And are you thinking, oh my gosh, do you have to cut those out? No, there's dies for everything. And there's 3 dies for these little bitty bits. I don't know what he was barking about. Dies for everything. Look at that. All in one pass. But you know what? I would suggest, because you don't want the die to overlap, cutting out each of the pieces. I think they're all okay. But cutting them all out and sending them through in their own little, with their own little space around them, but you could do it all in one pass. And there it is. So, let's build the front. You know what? These inside pieces are kind of driving me crazy. Thanks a bunch. Ooh, know that you're loved. Let me put that on. I'm going to do the inside, just so I can have that wrapped up. Know that you are loved. I'm looking at how it lines up. That's good. And the little bud, and I'm going to stamp it up just a little bit higher than planned because I have this strip of designer paper going at the bottom. So now Calypso Coral and Daffodil will make the flower. Calypso Coral. Well, it was easier before. Oh, you know what it is? It just is slightly going over the evergreen color. Okay. Alrighty then. And Daffodil. Two-step stamp, and I love it. I think we're done stamping. Okay, so let's put this in. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that happy? It's just springtime. Summertime. Springtime. Marigolds, they're pretty hardy. I should try some. Tony always wants marigolds, and I'm like, they're kind of orange. They're kind of yellow. I like the cooler tones. But I do like these. That dog is back already. Sometimes I think I'm a doorman and he's knocking. Okay, I gotta put the flower down lower, but I think it's okay. Okay, so now it's time to, I don't know if he's gonna go away or if he's gonna keep knocking. In and out, in and out. So how about if we start with this. When I look at the flowers, I think that these are on top. So the stems should go about here. Ooh, the darker green is a bit different. And to kind of attach those flowers onto the stem, I'm going to flip it over and put a dimensional here to kind of lock it in place. Then a few more dimensionals. There, stay right there. Stay right there. There, got it. But might as well. And another one, and another one. Okay. And I had to do a little bit of a trick with that. Oh, look how this could go right over the words. Yeah, I planned that. Okay, so let's attach these. That goes over. So I'm thinking that the, what is the name? I learned the flower holder is a S-E-P-A-L. It's a sepal. Put the sepal over the flower. Okay, that's holding it. That dimensional is in the wrong spot. There. Let go. It's still too long. Okay, but just from previous experience, this would be great there, but it won't fit in the envelope. So, well, you have to stay in place. So I'm thinking it needs to be pushed in here longer, but I like the leaves. Therefore, a little bit of flower, I don't want to say surgery, flower fixin', that can tuck right into there. and it will still fit in the envelope. But this little bit can go, oh, it could even be up above, just like that. You think? Well, that's exactly what I did right there. So, okay, you want to stay there? That's okay. So Bo went just now to go check out the wilderness. But that dog, we got him a heated bed. And he thinks it's the greatest thing. So when he puts pressure on it, it gets warm. He spends, like sometimes I say to Tony, he's just waiting for you to come home. Because I'm here. He knows he knocks and he comes in. But he chooses to be out there. Because in his heated bed. When I come back in a different life, I want to be our dog. Where should these go? That looks good. Well, I think that has I think some of these have dimensionals on them. And then the heated bed, they gave us this like a coat, a liner thing for it, so you could wash it, but it's really chintzy. So his bed in the house, I call it his sheets. It has a cover, so you just put the cover in the washer and dryer. So I took the one from his round bed here in the house, and it does okay covering up the bed out there. So now he has an outdoor bed, an outdoor heated bed with a sheet on it, a dog cover sheet. Bet you that's where he is. Okay. Oh, I should check that the dimensional is showing. And that's bad only because it'll stick the card closed. Can't have that. Okay. I'll recycle this. Use it for another time. So, just a little bit more decoration, such as pearls. 3 pearls. And how about a little one? And a bow. Okay. Two-step stamping makes quite an impact, and it's easy. There's no coloring, but it still looks really good. Okay, a little double bow. And that can go. Do you like the light green or the darker green? I think maybe I like the darker green. That can go right there. Just a little bit of glue. Make sure it doesn't come off. Trim the ends. And I think that's it. Oh, you know what it is outside. I was wondering, why is Bo going crazy? There's the rowers. They're out there all parking on the streets. That's it. Okay, there it is for today's project. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.